To get started, first I'd like to welcome you to the 2019 U.S. Rowing National Championships. I'm Brett Johnson. I'll be your regatta director for the weekend. First, I'd like to thank the LOC, the Clermont County Convention and Visitors Bureau. They'll be speaking here in just a minute. I'd also like to welcome all of our referees, including our chief, Nicola Vida, and our deputy, Mariah McAfee. Mariah Foster. Also, we have several U.S. Rowing staff members here that will help you up at registration if you have any questions, need to make any changes, scratches, anything like that. First, I'd like to thank our event sponsors, Captain U and Connect-A-Dock. I'd also like to thank all of the U.S. Rowing corporate sponsors. Weather policy. This week's looking pretty good right now, but make sure that you understand the weather policy. It's published in both the regatta packet and the confirmation packet. If you want to get text message weather updates, you should text U.S. Rowing. It's not case sensitive to 313131. The contact in Regatta Central will be automatically added to the 313131, so everybody, at least one person from every crew should have access to that. Medals will be here at 9 a.m. on each of the medals days, so on Thursday and then on Sunday. The college fair will be held on Thursday and Friday from 11 to 2:30 in the college fair tent right behind you. It's for rising seniors. Make sure that you've signed up online. If you're having any trouble, go to the registration desk, and they can help you out with that as well. And also, one change for that this year that is different from in past years. Athletes are allowed to go to the college fair after the completion of their racing each day, not at the completion of their racing for the whole event. So if you're done with racing on Thursday, you can go straight to the college fair, even if you're racing on Friday or Saturday. Now I'd like to turn it over to Jeff from Clermont County Convention and Visitors Bureau for a couple of seconds.
Great. Thank you. My name is Jeff Blom. I'm the president of the Clermont County Convention and Visitors Bureau. If it is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. We're excited to have you. We're excited to have you here for the week, or if you're just here for the first few days of the competition, we're excited that you're here. We look forward to a great competition. Wish you the best of luck. I'd also like to shout out to two of my staff members that have worked hours and hours to put this regatta together for you. Sarah Gleason, who happens to be sitting on the gator in the back, worked tirelessly. We have an army of volunteers. We have well over 300 volunteers this week, which is amazing. And I appreciate her efforts, and you will too as you make it through the course of the week. And then Joel Barnhill is our rowing event manager and has done a tremendous job as far as the layout and the operations of the event, all the vendors and that we work with. So I'd like to thank both of them personally for their efforts throughout the last few months getting this ready. But we hope you enjoy your stay with us. We do have some nice restaurants around town. We do have some nice attractions, so when you're off the water and you do have some time to enjoy a nice meal, or you don't have to be in bed at 8 a.m. For your competition the next morning, we invite you to explore a little bit, enjoy a restaurant, hit some of our attractions, and enjoy your stay and a healthy week of competition. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. So here is a third and the warmest welcome from me. You guys are the future of U.S. Rowing, and I understand you're pretty good. So we wouldn't do this meeting unless this is only one that we're going to do this week. So for those elites that will start coming on Thursday, that's why we're really doing it, not for you guys. So we're going to have only one Coach and Coxswains meeting. That's why it's videoed. So these first 3 days, obviously under 17 and 19, and then we'll have the intermediate, elite, and seniors to finish the competition the last 3 days. Jeff has already addressed you. We have a phenomenal group of volunteers at this regatta. Please be nice and kind to them. Without them, regattas like this don't happen. So either if you're throwing them the bottles of water at the start or whatever else, be sure to thank them for the great job they've been doing. We also have the finest referees who came from basically all parts of the United States, from all the regions. So, and I hope that by the end of this regatta, you won't know my name or anybody else's name on the jury. That means we did a good job, you didn't see us, and the regatta was safe and fair. We have traffic patterns that are going to be laid out at the launch docks for the regatta. Please familiarize yourself with them. Right now, Mariah is holding the practice pattern, which is kind of unique. And then the other pattern is the time trial pattern, which is very similar to the racing pattern that we don't have the picture here. But the only difference is basically that just, I would say north from the start, there is a very shallow area, small area to warm up. So what we would strongly suggest, especially for the bigger boats, because you'll have problems turning around in that area, use the big warm-up area to warm up, and then just come to the start, and that's where we'll put you into your lanes to race. As far as the weather, we are not expecting any serious troubles till Thursday, but of course this is Midwest, weather changes, so we'll keep you updated if something needs to happen. Brett already addressed the issue, how is the weather going to be communicated, and what are we going to do in case if the weather requests some actions. For the time trials that we are starting in the morning, you will be basically, there will be a marshal at the start that will send you, we'll be racing in lanes 4 and 5, and that will send you down after 100 meters, so about end of the breakage zone, there you will hear a horn. So there won't be a command mark, you will just hear a horn, and that means that we are starting the timing. But take the 100 meters to get up to the speed so that you get the best time you can get. You're racing against yourself. We will have referees positioned in lanes 3 and 6 that will be following the time trials. And in case if you need to yield, although we'll try to have enough spacing between the boats so that we don't get into that, but in case if we do, so there is an open water between you and the boat that is coming behind you. If you're in lane 4, yield in lane 3. If you're in lane 5, yield in lane 6. For the sprints, we'll have 7 or 8 minute centers, so there shouldn't be any issues there. The one thing where you can really help us the most, be on time. Let's not speculate, is regatta on time, is regatta early, late, and so on. Be at the start on time. That is your responsibility. We'll be starting races without the boats that are not there. In case of hot seating, the responsible for the control commission is Kathleen DeMille. Every morning, coach from the crew that has hot seating has to come to Kathleen, tell her which event and so on, and they will make sure to allow you to do that hot seating most of the times on that dock where we have the motor launches. So on this side are the slots for the launches. On the east side, you can come and do your hot seating change. Weighing. We will follow the rules of rowing for the weigh-ins. We have practice scales, both for athletes and for the boats. So make sure that your boat is in line with the weight requirements. You work too hard to come here and lose the race because your boat is underweight. So this is pretty much everything I had to say for this regatta, and I'll just open it quickly for Q&A.
Go ahead. For the time trials, everybody's warming up on the pattern to the north of the course. Is there going to be a referee calling events
For the time trials, the warm-up area is right there. When they come to the, we won't have a marshal over there, but the crews should be in the start area, ready to listen to the marshal at the start. I would say between 7 and 10 minutes before their start. Depends. I mean, crew has to be comfortable with the time they need to be put in order and sent through the chute.
All right. And the one follow-up is, it looks like there's a pinch point coming onto the course. In order to plan the 7 to 8 minutes to get to the start line, how long should they plan to get past the pinch point? Because last time there was like a 20-minute pileup to 30-minute pileup there. So how much time should we?
I have not been on the course, so here.
All right, so the question is the pinch point up at the start, right before you enter the small cove, before then you would enter into the course. So that pinch point does impede in, so you will have to enter into lane 1 to get through. So it is very tight there. So give yourself about 5 extra minutes before you're in that cove. You should enter that cove and be in that cove 10 to 7 minutes before the start of your time trial race. When racing officially starts, we will have a marshal there helping feed everybody through. So just pay attention to that and keep your eyes open. Most of you have probably done practice and probably seen what it's like out there. So keep that in mind as you're paying attention to it.
So all these time evaluations, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever minutes, this is just for your information. Your duty is still to be at the start minimum 5 minutes before the start. So take your time, and we will probably also be using lanes 1 and 2 since 4 and 5 will be used for the time trials. Any other questions?
Yeah, so since racing only happens on lanes 4 and 5, if we're pressed for time, can we go straight down lane 1?
No, stay outside of the course, and then once we get to that point, you'll be directed if you need to go into 1 or 2. But during the racing, all the crews are supposed to be away to stay away from the course. You want to say something, or you have a question?
Wait, there's one question first, Kathleen. Go ahead.
So if I'm the first race of the morning, would I be able to warm up go up the lane 1 if there's like a lot of traffic?
No, we're going to close the course 15 minutes before the first race. So if the race tomorrow is starting at 8, by 7:45, the course has to be clear. The question was, can you go, if you're the first race, can you go down the course to your start? And the answer is no.
So to piggyback off of that, the reason you can't go on the course is because if anybody is slower, time trials rule, they dictate they move to the outside. So they could enter all the way into lane 1. So if you are warming up and you impede on a boat that is coming down in their race, you have caused interference. So you do not enter that course unless you are directed to do so. This is why it's very important that you guys are on the outside of the course as you warm up. Does that help?
Okay, go ahead.
At the pinch point, we are allowed to enter.
Yes, at the
I'm sorry.
You can, and we will direct you in on that.
Any more questions? Any more questions? No? Okay, well, thank you very much once again. Let's give a hand to all the volunteers, and I'll pass it on to Kathleen. Thanks.
I just want to remind you, if you're a coxswain, you are responsible for bringing your weight. You have between 2 hours and 1 hour before your race time, which is also true for lightweights. Lightweights have to remember that they have 1 try if they miss their weight by 1 pound. Okay, so if you come in, you're 2 pounds over, you're done. If you come in, you're 1 pound over, you have to the end of your window to come back in and try to weigh in again. Are there any questions about that? That's standard US rowing rules. Got it. I will see you all sometime this week.